Do you tend to worry a lot and get stressed and catastrophize about things that could happen? I heard once that worrying is praying for something you don't want. And if you believe in the power of prayer, that's a big thing if you're praying for something you don't want. Our minds are very much programmed to look for the bad in the world, just because our brains have this ancient part of our brain that was created to be able to notice danger, to keep us safe years and years and years ago. And it still keeps us safe today, but sometimes it sees danger when there really isn't danger. So oftentimes we put a lot of time and energy into worrying about or stressing about something that never ever happens. And I've heard it said that sometimes, now fear is real, yes, but sometimes the fear we feel, we are feeling it about false evidence appearing real. So it's not even something real that we're worrying about, we're scared of, we're stressing over. It's a story that we're making up in our minds that we're focusing on, and we're feeling like it's actually real or might be real, might really happen. So to give you an example of how programmed our brains are to look for the bad, I'm sure that each and every one of you who's watching this video has probably been driving down the road at some point and seen an accident. So usually there's a big bottleneck of cars backed up, not so much because of the accident, but because everyone's like rubbernecking to look and see what happened. Because as humans, we are just drawn to seeing the bad things. You could be driving down a road and there could be the most beautiful sunset ever, and you will not see a backup of cars because people aren't paying that much attention to the absolutely awesome sight that's right in front of them or right beside them. We just go on and don't even notice it lots of times, or maybe we're like, oh, that's a nice sunset, but we don't really pay as much attention to it. That is why the news is so bad. Only about 30% of the news is actually true. The news has had to get worse and worse and worse. The headlines have had to get more awful to draw our attention. The stories have had to get more fantastic to draw our attention, to get us to stop scrolling or get us to turn on that channel on the news, or the news on the TV or the radio station, read the papers, because bad news sells. The problem is we're so surrounded with so much of that kind of thing that our brain is getting reinforced that the negative is out there everywhere. It's not out there nearly as much as we think it is, and we want to get control of that and ask ourselves, when we are catastrophizing or worrying or stressing, to ask ourselves, is this thing true? Is what I'm worrying about even true? And if it's not, change your focus. Switch your focus to what actually is true. And that'll probably happen lots of times. You'll feel a lot less stress, a lot less worry, a lot less fear if you run it through, hey, is this actually true? And it's going to make your life much, much better to not be focusing on so much negativity and so much bad in the world. Comment with something you do to keep yourself from being so focused on the bad in the world. And thank you for joining me today for the Rebecca Reset, where every day we reset your mind so you can be better, do better, and get the life you love. Please like and subscribe.